because it was the first day and, a new lecture altogether. So I went, I sat, and, when I sat in there, this professor walks in and he says one line, which makes me extremely happy. Now, you'll have to guess what did he exactly say. I'll give you a few hints. Hint number one, I was the only Asian student in that entire class. Hint number two, we had a batch of about 20 kids. Um, Hint number three, since my class was a finance class, he would never come and say today no class or today we will not study. He would never say something like this. And the last clue is that he did not come out and say that today we're going to be playing a game. He did not even say that because we were purely doing finance over there. So he said something which made me extremely happy, and I'd like to hear some guesses. So, sir, could you unmute a few kids and let them give it a try?
Absolutely. And after the story, I'll also introduce who the cool maths teacher is. Okay, Fahim was the first one to join in, so I'll give you Fahim the opportunity. Yeah, Fahim. Introduce yourself, where you're from, and then you give the answer.
I am from India. And the answer is that I think that sir told that you might be the best in that subject, maybe.
Unfortunately, no, that is not what he said. I was never the best in any subject, but yes.
I go to Muhammad Saqil. Raise your hand. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that you were only the Asian student in the class.
Try, but again, not the correct answer, but no problem. Let's at least hear a few more responses before I
Aisha wants to
say
answer.
the answer.
Yeah, Aisha, you have to unmute yourself. Zara, want to answer? Who wants to answer? You can raise your hand and I can come to you. Running. Yeah, Aisha, speak. You are unmuted.
Okay, I think she can't hear. We'll go to someone else.
Yusuf raise the hand. Keep telling me, Divesh, and I'll jump to the boys and the girls who are raising hand. Yusuf has raised the hand. I can't see you, Yusuf. Okay, you need to put the. Okay, I'll unmute you, but put your cameras on so sir can see you. Yeah. Okay.
The teacher said that he was an Asian teacher.
Good try, but no, that also wasn't true. Okay, let's try. What about Hamza? Would you like to give us a response? What do you think? No? Okay, fine. He straight out said no. What about Mohammed? What do you think?
Muhammad Mukri from Hyderabad. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so you know what? I'll tell you what he exactly said. He said this chapter is not going to come in the exam. Right? So we all started. I mean, do you think that was something which would have made you happy? I'm sure it would have made you a lot happy, right? So, okay, I think there's one question from Aisha. She can't hear.
Yes, I've just. Okay, hold on. I'll just answer. Okay, Aisha, you have to log in. I'll just message her. Aisha, if you can hear, you have to log in again. I think there was an issue with last time as well from your end. Just try it again, please. Okay, and all those who can hear, let me officially welcome mentor for today. I have just messaged everybody in the group who's coming today excited. So this person with a cool looking jacket is the founder of UnMaths, and it's amazing, right? And all of us had some issues with maths, so UnMaths is here. And Divesh, you're looking so good that maths is looking cool now, and especially in the jacket out there. He's gone to Nottingham, is that right, for a stint in finance?
No, I was in London.
You were in London, all right. So he was in London, but all of his learning, and I did an interview with him, is around sports, around maths. He just had a lovely session on cricket with Ajit Agarkar. He was the Mumbai Ranji Trophy captain. Most of you may not even know him. These are all Virat Kohli generation. I'm sorry. Yeah, Vivesh. But
true, very true.
This is amazing. He went and did some teachers training in Nepal. He's so popular in all my friend circle. Every school wants a piece of Divesh. So he's all yours for today's session. Thank you once again, officially welcoming you. And the kids are all yours from now on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, kids, the whole point I was trying to share in the story earlier was that we all actually study from an exam point of view, right? So the minute the professor said that this chapter is not going to come in the exam. I was so happy. I was all set to leave the class. But that is when I realized that a couple of friends told me that if I miss this class, I would not be able to follow anything. I would not be able to understand the entire semester. And how would that happen? I managed to see the entire textbook. Every important chapter in the textbook was connected to the first chapter. Now, this is what I was about to miss because he said that was not going to come from an exam point of view. Now, let me tell you that when we study, most of us keep in mind that we have an exam coming, we have a revision coming, we have a test coming. So we focus a lot and we start practicing. And I'm sure that each one of you actually enjoy studying, but it's just that the pressure of the marks kind of at times dilutes the fun. So here we are today. We'll be quickly talking about, what is your interpretation of math. So I'm just going to quickly share something with you, and we will go ahead with this one by one. Uh, just give me a second while I'm able to share this. Okay, are you all in a position to see this?
If you can give a thumbs up, if you can see it, all of you.
Yeah, those who can, please just put a thumbs up or a message on the chat box over there. Okay, so okay, I think people did like the answer. Great. So fine. So now that we have all of you who've been able to follow this, I have a question for you again. So don't be under the impression that I'm only going to talk and you're going to listen, right? You're going to be speaking to me continuously though. So here's a question which I'm going to ask each one of you, and that is this. And let me tell you, each one of you have to respond. Come on, quick. We'll go one by one with each and every one. At least I need 5 responses before we can move to the next part. Come on.
You want me to unmute
Anybody?
them? Okay,
Yeah, you can unmute them.
raise
Yeah.
your hands and what is your definition of maths? Okay, Humaira wants to answer. Can you hear us, Humaira? Go ahead. You can unmute yourself. You're big boys and girls now. So go ahead. I'll give you the rights to unmute yourself. I'm unmuting everybody right now. And then, okay, all of you mute yourself and then.
Wow.
Okay. Who can answer?
Okay.
There you are. Abdullah, go ahead. Yeah, Abdullah.
Yeah, I think the definition of maths is that it is used in our daily life and it is very important for us to know maths. And if we don't know maths, so it is not good for us because in our daily life it is used.
Okay, that's interesting. We'll go to Ibrahim. Wanted to say yes.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Ibrahim Rizwani.
Ibrahim, you
Go
wanted to
ahead.
say. Then we'll come back to Fahim after that. First,
Okay.
let Ibrahim speak.
Unmute yourself first. There's a small red icon. Just press that and speak. Yes.
So basically, the definition of mathematics is that related to sums and word problems, and we solve the sums, and so the kg and that we add that and convert that to basically
Okay,
that.
that's interesting. Then we also had Fahim and Sakina, both of them. So we go to Fahim and then we go to Sakina. Fahim, could you start first?
Fahim, unmute yourself.
Yeah, Fahim. You can unmute yourself, Fahim. Yes.
The destination of maths is really high and we should take it as the most important one because if maths is not there, many things would not be there.
Okay.
Especially science.
Okay, that's good. We will go to Sakina now. She had given her response.
Measuring and calculating numbers.
Yeah. Sakina, unmute yourself. And Fahim, can you mute yourself, please? Once you finish, you put the icon again.
I think measuring and calculating numbers.
Okay, that's interesting. Is there anyone else who would like to give an
There's
answer? I
Humaira, who
saw
was
somebody.
Humaira, Qasim, and Rushda. Okay, I'll go to the girls now. Rushda, can you unmute yourself?
The definition of
Maths
mathematics.
of
Okay, Rushda first. I'll wait for Humaira. Wait, Rushda, go ahead.
The definition of mathematics is field of study.
Okay, interesting. And anyone else who'd like to chip in? There was one more person, right?
Yeah, Humaira and Saad.
maths.
Okay.
Maths is science of numbers.
Science of numbers, is it? Wonderful.
You have PhD
That's
students
excellent.
here, Divesh.
Sorry?
You have PhD students here.
Yes, that's excellent. I think everyone's trying to speak a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
Saad.
why don't you talk to me as if I'm 5 years old? Talk to me in simple language. Okay, no technical words, no complicated things. But what we're going to do is, I'm going to share with you my definition of math. So I want all of you to pay attention that
Sorry, just a minute, please. Please just a minute. Just muted everybody and then lost
but through a very special sport. And now I'm going to talk about a sport which I believe everyone is very fond of as of now. And that is, should we start? Everyone, you can all hear me, right? Okay, great. So I'm going to give you a small assignment. That assignment is nothing but it's going to take about 3 minutes. So I'll give you 3 minutes. You all have to shut your eyes and you will all have to pay attention to a very simple question. Let's imagine that you are in front of a soccer field. Yes, you heard me correct. You can imagine a soccer field, and each one of you would try and tell me that what do you look or what can you actually imagine when you see a soccer field? And in any part of that, by chance, do you see any aspect of math in it? Only on the field. Imagine there are no players, there's nobody in the stand, it's an empty ground, and you are standing over there all alone. I repeat, you're standing in a big soccer field. You're standing all alone. There are no players, there are no audiences, nothing. And you all are just looking at the soccer field. You have 3 minutes. Everyone, just think about it. Mohammed, will come to you. Let everyone take a bunch of 3 minutes, and then we will start with you. Just hold on. Everyone, start imagining. I think the best way of imagining is when you shut your eyes and just start positioning yourself over there. Okay, all those who finished, we'll start with the first participant who wanted to start with Abdullah. Abdullah Patel, are you there? Yes, Saad, we'll come back to you as well. Just hold on. Yes, Abdullah, go ahead. You have to unmute yourself, Abdullah. We won't be able to hear you. Yes.
Yeah. So in the football ground, there is the maths about like the perimeter and the area.
Okay, so you're saying the perimeter and the area. Okay, so
Yeah.
what we're going to do is you're going to just make a note of everything that you spoke right now so that we all are on the same page. Will you just give me a minute to make a note of all of this?
You want to make a note, Divesh?
Yeah.
No, I'm just putting it on my screen. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so you first mentioned, what did you mention? You said area and perimeter, right?
Yeah, perimeter and area.
Perfect. Let's go to the next participant. So I think you can take a charge of that. Who will go next? So I'll
Okay.
keep a track of recording all of
Perfect.
this.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Muhammad, yeah, the Dubai guy. Go ahead. Speak up, Muhammad.
The area and the perimeter of the
Okay,
field, height of the goalpost,
very good.
and
Height.
distance between the two goals.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
I'll jump to Saad. Wait, Saad.
The shape of the playground is the soccer field is rectangle and the stadium is oval.
Okay, great.
Jumping to Yahya. Can you unmute yourself and speak? Speak, Yahya. Go ahead now.
The shape of the soccer field, and the sizes of goalpost.
Okay, so yeah, so you said that that's already been covered. Anything else you can think of?
Um,
Let me jump to Aisha. Aisha, there you are. Speak up, yes.
there are permanent
Your voice is cracking.
Yeah.
Sorry, couldn't hear you.
like
Nice.
11.
Number of players, she says. 11 number of players.
Number of players. Okay.
Okay. Sauda wants to speak up. Saqib Ibrahim wants to say. Yeah, Ibrahim. Speak up.
The boundary, how much centimeter they carry, or the meters, or the boundary, and the center of the field.
Yes, so I think the boundary is very similar to that of the area and the perimeter specifically. While the center, there's a what do you see in the center of the field? What shape do you see?
What
Who
shape?
was the last person who spoke?
Yeah, Ibrahim. You want to, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He's not there. Rushda. Rushda says circle. Okay. All right, Rushda. Go ahead. You can speak up.
Okay.
Rushda, you can
Next.
see. You please tell me, Divesh, when to stop. So I'll keep going with the kids. And
Yeah, keep going. Correct.
yeah, Rushda, go ahead. You unmuted.
I
Okay, she wrote circle. Now her smile is a circle.
Okay.
Yeah, I came to you. Let me go to someone else who has not spoken. Anyone wants to speak up? Hamza?
What
Yeah,
about
Hamza.
Saad wanted to speak?
Saad spoke. Okay, I'll come back to Saad. Hamza, you wanted to speak? You raise your hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, Afshak, we'll come to you also. Hold on.
The number of seats.
Number of seats. Very good.
Okay. So we have got right, Muhammad. Yeah, Muhammad, you go ahead. Speak.
The diameter of the circle of the in the middle of the field.
Excellent. Diameter of the circle.
Okay. There you are, Muhammad. Anyone else? Saad
Yes,
wanted to
Saad.
speak up. Okay, Saad, go
The
ahead.
parallel lines.
Very good. Okay, since you mentioned Saad, parallel lines, what would happen if these lines would not be parallel? Any guess? Will the soccer field be comfortable to play if the lines are not parallel? Just a guess, Saad? Or anybody would like to speak on this? What do you think? Yes, Saad. Go ahead.
The size will not be equal.
The size will not be equal and not be convenient to play, right? Because the whole ground is not going to be, the whole field needs to be in parallel shape, right? Do you agree? Okay, great.
I jumped to two girls out there who are good. Juveria, want to speak up? Can you unmute yourself, Juveria? Yeah, I unmuted you. Go ahead.
In the soccer field, I guess the scores are also type of maths.
Yes, the scores are also based on numbers. Perfect.
Sauda from Surat had something to say about the hexagon. Let me quickly jump to two, Divesh, with your permission. I'll
Yes.
Okay, so,
Angle and shape of the goalpost should be 5x of the ball. Wow. So that's
that
interesting.
who is that?
Fahim,
You wanted to go to Fahim? Oh, you read him? Okay.
very good, Fahim. A good analysis of that. Now, I think what we can do is, okay, what we can quickly decide or we could quickly discuss out here is that, okay, Anas, you wanted to say something? You can go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Anna, speak up.
Anas, you can unmute yourself first. Okay, I think he's not able to unmute. So could you help Anas unmute himself?
Yes. Can I come to Anas a little while later?
Okay, sure. In the meantime, yes. Sakina, you can go ahead, and then we come back to you, Fahim. Don't worry. Yes. Sakina.
Sakina, go ahead. I've unmuted you. Actually, all of you can unmute and mute yourself. Okay. Can we just do 1 minute? I'm unmuting everybody. Yeah, and all of you please go and click on the icon and mute yourself. So you will have the control in your hand. Can all of you do that, please? Can you take a minute? Okay. Everybody's unmuted now. Please quickly go and mute yourself. Okay. Right. Please go and mute yourself, everybody, as quickly as you can. And the control is in your hand now. Only thing is there's too much of disturbance. I don't want. We got 34 participants. All right.
If the lines are not parallel, the players won't able to play. If the lines are not parallel, the players will not able to play.
That's true. Those who have not heard so far the instructions, if you could just follow first instruction and mute yourself. Fahim, you can start in the meantime.
I actually wanted to say that I'm saying the one that I sent it in the chat. Actually, the length of the goalpost should be 4 times of the ball, so that they can correctly hit only at four shots in length and 5 shots in breadth. So that even the goalkeeper can have a chance to stop the ball from going into the post. Actually, they have measured, they have not made the goalpost height as random. They have measured it and they have made sure that the goalkeeper can stop the ball.
Hey, Fahim, I'll go to Divesh quickly. Just wait, Divesh, I'm just unmuting everybody so that you all are clear. Yeah, please go ahead, Divesh.
Okay, great. So, Fahim, very good point. Fahim, you're muted right now. Can you unmute yourself? Is it possible?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Actually, as I said, they have not made it random. They have measured it and they have made sure that the goalkeeper can stop the ball from going into the post. This is the cause of multiplication and angles, which we can study in higher classes.
Yes, very, very interesting. I think this is a fabulous thing. Anyone else? Okay, let's imagine now the players have come on the field, and what kind of math is being used once the players are on the field? Can anyone guess? Yes, yeah. Could you speak loud? Penalty shootout. Yes.
Penalty shootouts.
Yeah. So how's math being used over there? Any guess?
When when a foul is happened in the
During the match. So okay. So how do you see math is being involved over there?
It is involved that the shoot's angle.
Shoot angle. Okay, that's interesting. Fahim, were you supposed to say something else?
Fahim, unmute yourself, please.
Yeah. What
actually, many things are involved in that, like pressure, angle hitting, and as I said, multiplication is involved.
Okay, how multiplication? If you can explain.
When you hit the post, the goal has some height, and you might have a fixed place in which you can show And if you multiply the ball and the goalkeeper post, you might get many angles in which you can hit. And this causes, and in this problem, you can use a technique of changing the ball direction. If you are gonna hit in the right side, the goal actually, if it's going into the goal post, it would be from the left side.
Okay, that's interesting. Why don't we hear from someone else also? Let's imagine now that the players have come on the field in the position that they're standing. Uh, okay, Mohammed says that I do not use math when I play football. Okay, that's interesting. You may not be using it directly, but there could be a lot of subconscious use of math which you may not even realize is actually happening. So we'll help you understand that. While could you all tell me once the players have come in and the position that they're standing in, all that position that you see, what do you see? Is there any math involved in that? Anybody? Yes, Hamza,
Hamza,
go ahead.
just unmute yourself. Use the icon. You'll have to. Yeah, go ahead.
The distance.
Distance. Okay, so at what distance they all are standing and at what angle? Yes, Mohammed, you want to say something? Unmute
The
yourself.
number
Yeah,
Only two players can tackle one player. And if there are three players, then the player will fall. And also free kicks, the angle he needs to shoot. If he shoots wrong angle, the ball will fly and go outside of the field and hit audiences or happen something like that.
okay, interesting. Anything else anybody would like to add out here before we go to the
Aisha
next part?
Kazi wanted to say something. Aisha,
Yeah,
unmute.
go ahead.
Actually, this is mainly related to area.
Fahim, hold on.
The distance.
Fahim, hold on, please. It's Aisha Kazi's. I've muted you, please. Aisha Kazi, please speak up.
The players stand in a formation, kind of.
Okay, the players stand in the formation. Yes, Mohammed, you could speak that. You put your hand up. Yeah.
speed of the players.
Speed of the players. Interesting. Okay, come on. We have a few more which we can cover, I'm sure. Okay. Yes, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yaza, go ahead. Yes.
Passes of the players.
Okay, passing to the
Passes.
players. Passes to the players. Okay, did you realize that when a team is actually playing, the most important thing is that for winning a match, they need to score some goals, right? So let's say hypothetically, if we have one player who's playing, he makes about 7 attempts and he's able to get 4 goals. I repeat, he makes 7 attempts and he's able to get 4 goals. So what would be his score if you were to evaluate him individually in the game? Can anyone put that on the chat? Anybody who can think of an answer on this? Yeah, I repeat myself. There were about 7 chances that the player get to shoot, but while he shoots, he's only able to score 4 goals out of it. Can anyone suggest? Yes.
No.
Yes, Juvera.
No.
Might be injured.
He might
Sorry?
be injured.
No, he might not be injured. He's a good player.
Yeah, Jueria, go ahead. You have something in mind?
Because he could not score three when he was playing, and then after that he scored 4 goals. That's why he is 4
So
out.
can I say that I could express this in form of a fraction? Let's say there are 2 fractions. One is his success fraction, that is 4 upon 7, and the other was his unsuccessful attempt, that would be 3 upon 7. Would that be correct to say? Yes? Anas, yes, you can speak. Anas, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Are you able to unmute
The
yourself?
goalkeeper was distracting the player.
The goal player was distracting the player. But no, what I'm trying to say is when the player actually got 4 goals out of 7 attempts, so what 2 fractions can be formed? So I said 4 upon 7 for his successful attempts and 3/7 for his unsuccessful attempts. So do you think that is something which would include a concept of math as well, or you think that's not valid? Anybody?
Fahim has an answer, but they're all into pressures and angers.
Yes. So, what we're going to do is we're going to try and understand this game a little bit better. But apart from that, why don't we also look at an aspect while all of us are used to looking at, we've already been looking at soccer entirely for the last half an hour. Why don't we look at another aspects that once the game is on, outside the field, is there any application of math involved? Not inside the field, outside the field. Can anyone tell me? I'm just talking about the playing area where the audience is sitting and everything. Is there any math involved over there? I'm talking about a proper league match. Yes, Fahim.
Yeah, unmute yourself. Yeah.
Maybe I think it can be the pressure involved because they should shoot in a proper angle and pressure if the ball wants to go in the post, or else it should go outside the field, or maybe it can go to the audience. Like I have seen sometimes some players like Ronaldo do high shots and that ball misses the goal post and they go to the audience.
Okay.
Or sometimes it hits the bar of the post and it may come in or go out. We cannot say that for sure. It depends. It depends on the place of the bar where it hits.
Okay, Fahim. Sir, can I go to this?
Sir, the number of seats.
Yeah. Yes, so you were saying something?
There was another boy, Umar, who has not spoken. So Umar wanted to speak. Yeah, Umar, go ahead. Sharif Zama.
Yes. Yes, Umar.
The seats.
Yes. What about the seats? What about the seats?
The number of the seats that are kept.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Flags, area and perimeter, and number of seats, and populate means number of people.
Okay, that's correct. Good one, Ibrahim. Yes, the distance between seats so that people can actually sit comfortably. Yes, that's another part. Yes, Yusuf, you'd like to say something?
The shops that are there serving food.
Yes, so the counters that are serving food and drinks over there. Yes, very true. Hamza, please feel free to add something.
Number of cars.
Sorry?
It's a number of cars. One minute. I think all of you
The number of cars.
Yes. Anyone else who'd like to speak? Yes, Mohammed.
It fees.
Sorry?
The main thing, how many people are coming?
How many people are coming? Okay. Okay, so
The division between
Okay.
classes. The shape of the ball is spiral. Division between classes.
okay, yes, division between classes. I've sent in a message. What do you guys think about that? Can you read that message, everyone?
percentage of seats sold. Those who are not on the chat. Aisha will come to you. Aisha Aga, hold on. There's a question that sir has asked. Percentage of seats sold. What do you think?
Percentage of seats sold.
Yes.
You can go to Aisha. Ticket fees, Humaira says. Okay, I'll go to these two girls now. Aisha wanted to speak something. Can you unmute yourself, please? I can't. Yeah, Aisha, speak. You're unmuted.
The number of tables and chairs.
Number of tables and chairs. Okay, fine. Anything else?
Humaira Qasim, yeah, you want to say something? Go ahead, please. Humaira?
Fahim, I'll come back to you. Hold on.
Yeah, Fahim, you're a full footballer. Humaira, speak up, please. Louder, we can't hear you. Tickets. She says tickets, right?
Tickets. Okay,
Okay.
fair enough. Yes, Hamza, go ahead.
The weight of the ball.
The weight of the ball. Okay. We also have certain other. Humera says ticket
Passes.
fees. Then we have say the ml of the juice, so the quantity of juice that is being sold.
Passes.
Yes. Passes, the
Passes.
number of passes sold. Okay. Fahim, you wanted to add something?
Maybe I can say that the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can be. Maybe the other answers might not be related to math, but I am saying it's related. I think so. But I'm not like mocking everyone or like that. I'm just saying my opinion. That's all.
That's true. That's fine.
The
Okay.
screen.
Okay. Um, Fine. So I've just suggested that yes, tables are not used
The
in the
screen.
playground, but they could be somewhere else. You may have the counters which would have a few tables, and of
Yes.
course a few box areas where people could watch the match in a better manner. We look at another aspect, the angle of the camera to get a good view of the match. Mohammed, very good. Can you please unmute yourself and share your view out here? You have an excellent point.
Yes, when my player scores a goal, they show they put the camera behind the net so that they can get a good view of how the goal was, or else they and the upper view of the camera so then we can see what's happening when the ball is in the when the player is doing, and the free kick cameras and penalty cameras and all.
Excellent. So the whole idea is that because everybody cannot go to the same stadium and we all are watching it at in our television sets, we need to get the best view angle possible, right? So these cameras are placed at every different positions, and the best camera helps us understand or look at the match interestingly. Yes, Fahim, you can go ahead.
The popularity of the stadium and where it is located. These are the most important things. And maybe according to business, these two are the most important facts. So that you can earn a lot of money in there.
True, very true. A
So
good
if
point.
the stadium
How
is large and
expensive?
it's located in a very popular place, many people can go there and watch. So they can get many money. Like if there is 40,000 to 50,000 audience going in a field, and even if for one audience it is 100 rupees, we can earn a lot. Like it can be 400,000 or 500,000.
Okay, I'm sure the estimates are not
The
right, but the
price
logic is
of
very true.
tickets.
Yes, who spoke about price of tickets? Please go ahead.
I,
Yeah,
Arsalan.
speak. Yeah, go ahead.
The price of tickets
Yes, the price of tickets. So that will it change for every time there's a different league of match, or it's same every time?
and which place and city.
Which place and city? Okay, Aisha, you wanted to say something?
Uh, just a request to everybody. Once you speak, please mute yourself again so others can speak well, right? Fahim, Muhammad, everybody, can you mute yourself again, please? Yes. Aisha, you wanted to speak, please?
Yeah, Aisha, you were raising your hand.
Tara, can you mute yourself? Aisha, cannot. Zara
Okay,
wants to
I think
speak. Zara wants to
yes.
speak up, then you unmute yourself, please.
The number of balls.
Okay, the number of balls. So how many balls are exactly there in
A lot.
a soccer field? A lot. Okay, so I think we will have to try and understand. Okay, before we go to that, Hamza, please feel free to join in. Yes, Hamza.
The time.
Time, that's a very important factor because the whole game depends on time, right? How long does the game last, Hamza?
90 minutes.
And when is the half time?
45 minutes.
And what will be the extra time that you get if it's a draw?
5 minutes.
Perfect. So I think you guys are very, very well familiar with the game, and I'm
The
glad that I'm
foul
learning
card.
something.
Abdullah,
Foul
mute
card. Okay,
yourself.
so
I'll go to Salim. Sorry, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. So please go ahead. Were you saying something?
The foul card.
Could you explain when does the foul happen and what happens after that?
The foul card is yellow and red color.
Okay. And what does each of it actually Depict.
When somebody push and push and pull anybody, it get foul card.
Interesting. Okay. And so this is the which color card you said this is?
Yellow color, I think.
So when do you get a red card and when do you get a yellow card?
In yellow.
Sorry?
In
Who
yellow.
can
Can I
answer?
say, sir?
Yes. Go ahead. Who has an answer for this? Yes, yes.
Sir, can I say?
Yeah, go ahead. Who's that?
Yeah, sir. So you get the yellow card when you push somebody or he falls down, or you put your leg between to make him fall down, and when you get a red card, like you hit him a very bad, or you do the fouls 3 or 4 times, you get the red card.
3 or 4 times. So that means you have to keep a track record of each and every player. If a player has got 3 or 4 foul yellow cards, you give them one this thing. So I just want to make sure that when we try to focus on this, we need to try and understand, when we try to look at this game from a different perspective, that is what we all are doing right now through math. The most important thing comes up is that we try and identify every minute every minute thing and try to look at it from a math perspective. So today's discussion is primarily based on how you can start speaking the language of math, not just solving sums, but also learn to speak the language. And you can only speak the language when you start observing each and every aspect around you in terms of math. Now, what we'll do is we'll take three excellent responses around you. If you can see any object that you can depict that, yes, this is where I think math is being used. Can anyone suggest that? Come on, let's do only 3 responses quickly. Yes, Fahim, you could start.
In
We'll come to you, Mohammed,
multiplication.
next. Yes,
Almost
Arslan,
in, I think
Fahim, 1 second hold.
almost in,
Fahim, 1 second hold. Yes, Arslan, go ahead.
In multiplication and division.
At your house right now, can you see it happening?
No.
I'm talking about something which is right now in front of you. Yes, Fahim, do you have something right now in front of you?
yes, I can say many things. I don't want to say in the slower classes like addition, multiplication, anything. I want to say angles and pressure.
Angles and pressure. Okay.
Mm.
Mohammed,
Handling data.
Handling data. Yes, Hamza.
I have the number of keyboard keys. The keyboard.
Excellent, Hamza. Very good. The number of keyboard keys. That's exactly what I'm looking at. Something where it's right in front of you. Mohammed, you wanted to say something? Mohammed Sadiq? I thought you had raised your hands. Okay. 2 more responses before we go to the last part of today's session. Yes, Aisha, go ahead.
The number of my rubber band.
Number of rubber bands. Yes, Aisha. Yes, go ahead.
Aisha, please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Number of tiles in my house.
Number of tiles in your house. Okay.
The number of
excellent.
stairs.
Can I
Number
go
of
Stairs.
Yes.
stairs.
Salim
The number of
Zafar,
buttons.
Salim Zafar,
Okay.
unmute yourself, please. You had spoken, sir.
Vegetables and fruits and
Mohammed, hold on. Salim.
The number of people.
Yes, number of people.
The number of rooms.
Number of rooms. Okay, sir. Who's next?
Number
Salim,
of pillows.
just hold on. Can I go to Salim? Salim Zafar? He hasn't spoken. Yeah, you are unmuted. Go ahead, Salim. Speak up.
The number of people in my house.
The number of people in your house. Okay, excellent.
Rushda, unmute and please speak.
Can I say?
The number of floors.
The number of
floors.
letters.
The number of
The number of letters.
Mohammed Saqib.
the number of floors.
Number of floors. Okay.
Can I say?
The number of
hold on.
pillows.
We'll let sir
Okay.
decide. Yeah. Hold on
Okay.
twice.
The number of
Mohammed?
letters.
I want to say
Yes, Mohammed Sadiq, go ahead.
Time.
Time. Okay, excellent.
The number of letters.
Toys. The number of toys.
Number of toys. Yes, yes, Nufal. Yes.
Aisha says number of
Then
cats in this people. Very nice.
the number of shoes.
Number of shoes. Okay. So, Ibrahim, Sadiq, yes.
The number of balls.
Number of balls. Okay.
Saad, we heard you. Bricks.
Yes, Mohammed Mukri.
The number of the number of friends.
Okay, Anas. Muhammad Mukri, can you speak up? Anas Juwaria, can you unmute and speak up? Two, three more. And then we go to Sir again.
Number of books.
Books.
Number of
Okay.
books. Okay.
The number of people on.
Okay, hold
The
on. Hold
number
on.
of bricks.
Bricks, we got. Juwaria, can you speak up quickly?
T-shirt.
T-shirt. Okay. Sir, how many? Muhammad Saqib, yeah.
Can I say
The switches.
Switches, Yahya.
Last one more.
the number of name tags?
The number
Number
of the number of people on this chat.
Okay, I'll
I
go to
guess
Sir now.
everyone's very
Yeah.
excited.
All
Okay,
right.
hold. I like the excitement, and now I would want you to convert this excitement. Just hold on. Just give me a minute more. Yes, I think Abdullah wanted to say, and Anas. We'll just hear these two answers fast. Abdullah, go ahead.
Yeah, sir. So, sir, the speed of the fan, sir.
Speed of the fan.
The speed
Excellent.
of the
Anas.
fan.
Yes, very good. Anas, you wanted to
The
say
heat
something?
of the
Unmute
sun.
yourself.
The heat
Yes.
of the sun.
Okay. Now, Anas,
Minus of
last.
things.
Sorry.
Plus minus of things.
The addition subtraction of things. Okay, so now that the excitement is great and you guys have started building onto this, can I ask you to do me a small favor, each one of you? Sorry. Okay, now we'll just okay, now we'll try to do something which we can add everyone to do one small task every day, and that's how you're going to remember me every day. Open a piece of paper, and every day in the morning when you get up, try and write down one thing around you which you actually see, or you can apply, or you can utilize math in it. Start building that journal. By the end of the year, when you see the concepts could be repeated in different places, but once you start doing this for the entire year, I'm sure by the end of the year you will not find anything around you which does not have math, right? So we learn to spread the language of math like this every day. One thing you're going to write, and if you can share it with doubts or as and when possible, keep sharing your thing every month, every week, whatever ideas you keep getting. But start sharing this with all your friends also. Cultivate this habit and start telling them to start writing things around them which they see. There's a little bit of math involved. It could be basic operations, it could be basic multiplication, it could be anything around that you can see, but start writing that. I hope you all had a wonderful time today.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Daud sir, I
Yes.
think
Yes,
you
sir.
could.
Thank you for.
Right.
Yes.
I think Divesh sir, thank you so much. It was wonderful. But for the sake of children, I have to ask you some questions. This is what I do, right? So
Please go
quickly,
ahead.
because these kids, they're so excited. Unmath is my first question is, why did you
I
choose?
didn't hear the homework.
Aisha, I will type it down in the group. Yeah, what sir said, I will type it for you. Okay. So I've got 3 questions for Divesh sir, and I'm just going to mute everybody. Okay. So sir, then you can speak up. Just a minute.
Sure.
So there you are. Only sir, you are unmuted. So number one, first question, I'll tell you all the questions and you can build up your answers. Number one, why did you choose UnMath as the name of your organization? That's number one. Number two, how good a math student you were when you were their age. So they are all my 10-year-olds around. So did you get 90 and 100 out of 100? Because, we think like that. And number three, sir, why is people thinking maths is different from English? So my 3 questions to you. Sir, over to you.
Okay, wonderful. So I think to answer first UnMath, the reason of UnMath is because we all have a very perception towards math, because we all think maths is equal to numbers. We don't say math is equal to language plus logic plus number interpretation. So that's where we try to We want to change the way children and teachers all look at math. So that's why UnMaths. Talking about my performance as a student, believe me, I was never a person who would get 100 on 100. But yes, whatever I did, as long as I enjoyed it because I felt some logic in it, I love doing that. There was nothing as, it's all about the way we look at the subject, because math seems like the only subject where you can get 100 on 100. But believe me, the more you learn and the more you write about it, the more you're going to succeed in your life. So yes, numbers is something which will definitely help you grow, but you have to keep in mind that whatever you do, you've got to enjoy it. So even if you're able to do 80% of the work properly, and if you're enjoying it, I think purpose is solved. But yes, that's where I would stand in terms of my own personal performance. And yeah, talking about math and English, I personally feel, every time you read a question in math, it's not just the numbers, right? There's an instruction given to you in some language. It could be any language. It could be math. It could be a regional language. It could be in English. It could be a regional language. It could be anything. But the instructions that are given, that is also important. So that together is a blended format of math. Math is actually a part. It's two different parts. One is a number literacy. That's how do you solve numbers. And the next part comes as number interpretation. So the way you interpret those numbers is all about your languages. I hope I've answered my questions to you, sir.
Right. Thank you so much. I think that's such a big hope that you don't have to be a genius or 100 out of 100, but you can still be a Ramanujan. Sir, thank you so much. I think you've created a spark in the kids. All of you, I'm unmuting everybody. Can we all say big thank you and applause for us, sir? Right. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. All are unmuted now. Let's have cacophony. All of us. Can I have big applause for us, sir? Did I unmute everybody? I unmuted everybody. Can I quickly hear some words from your end? I can't. There you are. Did you enjoy the session?
Thank you so much, everyone.
What is abacus?
All right.
That's a question for me.
You have. I think. Sorry, Divesh. I think there'll be a lot of noise. So we'll close on this note. And any questions, I'll forward them to you myself.
Sure.
Roman number.
Sir, there is one question. I have to take that question. Why do we learn Roman numbers?
Well, that's a good question. The point of writing Roman numbers during the early ages and what we even see as of today, putting a bigger number at times can get a little difficult. I'm talking from a logical perspective, not from the scientific perspective. So don't get me wrong, there are two different analogies. So my personal thing is that when I want to write down, numbers or express that, in the olden times, they did not have enough material to write down numbers. So they would only use straws, and they would use different sticks to at least, try and give
1 to
information to
like
someone that this is a number of objects that we actually have. And also at the same time, it became a little easy for them to at that point of time, in my
Okay.
okay.
Perfect. I think we just lost you for a while, Divesh, but thank you so much. I like the way you explained about Roman numbers. We're closing the sessions. I will put
Okay, Daud, I think you're muted. So you're muted.
I was, yes. So
Yeah,
no,
sure.
once again, thank you everybody. Divesh, I love the way you explained about Roman numbers. It's a revelation for me as well.
I'm
I will
glad.
put the upload. I'll upload the recording for everybody to again review it. And whatever you need questions, you can direct them to me. I'll ask sir. Once again, sir, thank you so much for your time. It was wonderful.
Well, thank you.
All right,
Thank you so much,
everybody.
everyone. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye,
bye
everyone.
ma'am. Bye ma'am.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
Divesh.
sir.
Sir, another
Bye.
thing.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.